Well, Jeff, as you go out, as we go down the back straightaway, the first thing I'd like to ask you is if you can take a look to the left, and as I saw on Friday, there's safer barrier all the way down the back inside wall. And thinking back to Richmond and even Vegas a couple of years ago, if you could just say what you think about the configuration of safer here, and if it looks right to you, and you know what you think about it based on your experience.
First thing I noticed is just like this transition.
Yeah.
This never used to be there. Like all this banking, far more banking than there ever used to be. Sorry, somebody's out here. Yeah, so all this is a lot different than what it used to be. So obviously you're going to be carrying a lot more speed in here. You can, I know talking to some of the guys that tested out here, you know, it's pretty tough to get a clean line, and I think they had to put a lot of lime or something on the pavement to cure it because of the temperatures and everything out here.
This front straightaway is 10 feet wider.
Yeah, that's real nice. This was definitely a narrow front straightaway before, so this is nice. Outside wall has not changed, right?
Right. It moved inside. Everything moved inside.
Yeah. I mean, it's obviously real smooth and going to be really fast.
With the radius change in their attitude, do you think you'd be arcing up and then diving down into this dog leg?
Yeah, I can tell you that it's going to take some time for me to get used to that.
Okay.
That's a lot different.
You're talking about the dog leg?
Yeah, I don't even know if you call that a dog leg.
Yeah.
I mean, it used to just be real subtle. Now it's major. The other thing is that I'm surprised that of the transition to the apron down there in 3 and 4. There is none. If you know, you can drive all over that apron.
Does that make it tougher to get in?
No, it's going to make it easier for somebody to want to get 3 wide.
Does this, what we used to call the dog leg, does this have the potential to be a sort of a real action spot on this track?
Well, absolutely. You know, what I'm curious is at speed. So let me show you here real quick. Watch. There's very little transition there.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think that you might be able to get down there, or just even if you get down there, I think it might upset the car at speed. I think that dog leg there in the back is going to be really interesting. You know, it's certainly going to. I don't know what these two guys are doing. You can see how dirty the track is.
Yeah.
You know, until I get out here at speed, it's going to be really difficult to know, because it looks to me like right now you can't go too wide through here.
Okay.
And so it's as if it's another corner.
Right.
And so when you get position on somebody, I think it's going to be a big deal there, just because I'm not so sure how easy it's going to be to run too wide. Now, as the group moves out and we clean the racetrack off, then that'll change. It'll open up. And that's going to be the tricky part about testing, is we're not going to be racing side by side, so we're not going to open this groove out as much as we will when we come to race.
From what you can see now, Jeff, you know how like at Pocono some people say the most important thing is to try to get your car to get good out of 3 to launch down the front straightaway. Do you see a key point here where you really want to get the car good? Yeah, okay.
Hold on 1 second. I got Newman on.
I think I swallowed my gum.
Sorry. Newman got on me, so I had to do. You know, listen, at every racetrack we go to, it's important to get off the corner good, especially on the longest straightaway. So this, you know, is going to be a very important, you know, part of the racetrack. This straightaway is long, and you know, I think getting off turn 2 is going to be crucial question because it looks to me like getting position on a guy into this turn. What was that?
Rock.
It was dirt. These guys been out in the mud or something somewhere. It looked like a big dirt clod.
Yeah.
So I think you know, getting position on somebody in the 3, which has always been important, will still be really important.
With the front straightaway being wide, you think there'll be more opportunity for pulling out and trying to go too wide down there making passes?
Well, I mean, that part of it was never a big issue. You know, getting inside of somebody before. What it was, you know, when there was a crash or when 2 cars got together, there was no room for error. It was just really easy for somebody to, let's say somebody lost control, they hit that inside wall and knocks them right back up into traffic. You know, there was plenty of room to race on, but you would get close to that wall if you did make a late move. This might give you a little bit more room to you know, to get inside somebody as you get down into 1.
Just driving around this.
You know, what it's going to do to me is make the restarts a lot safer.
Okay.
Because the restarts were the trouble area for that narrow front straightaway.
Yeah. If you were a fan, Jeff, what would you watch for at this track with the way it is now?
Well, I think the speeds are going to be up. You know, so it's going to be interesting to see how the faster racetrack, you know, how much more entertaining that is. And it's going to have a lot of grip. You're going to be watching for who gets the new track figured out the quickest, which team, you know, and then I think what's nice is I think that people can now see the cars on the back straightaway as they're battling through this dogleg. I'm not so sure they could see that before.
Yeah, they dropped it down 4 feet, the infield.
Oh, okay. Plus this seems
Yeah,
higher to me, even though it's
exactly.
low here. You know, you might lose a little bit, but you'll be able to see a little bit more of the action here.
Yeah. You like that? See that safer barrier all the way down the back straightaway there in the inside?
Yeah, no, I think that's awesome.
I don't see any grass either to get on.
Yeah, that grass was not a good thing. I mean, the grass as well as I'm gonna make one more lap here a little bit fast. You know, the grass is never a good thing, especially with our splitters now. Yeah, you're really gonna be able to carry a lot of speed up off of here that I don't think you were being able to before. I mean, exactly what this car is doing is what our race cars are going to do. You know, you carry speed down in there, and the front end's going to wash out. So it's going to be about getting that figured out. How you get that front to turn down there.
Originally, they were going to have cup practice
This doesn't seem that much different to me than it was before, other than it's nice and smooth. The transition's a little bit less, but you know, you learn so much more at speed. Once you get out there and start going fast, all of a sudden you feel every little bump, every little seam. You know, you really get an idea of what the track truly is going to do.
They knocked out the Thursday cup practice on race weekend, so it's these 2 days and then the regular 3 days of race weekend. You feel comfortable that that's going to be enough time for everybody to figure it out?
Yeah. I mean, everybody's in the same boat. So I didn't know why they had those cones there. I thought there was a reason.
And what do you, Jeff, driving down this pit road the way it is now and with the concrete stalls, does this look like an improvement to you?
Oh, this is nice. Yeah. This is a huge improvement. I mean, this pit road was one of the most treacherous ones we had on the circuit, and this is now going to be one of the nicest ones.
Jeff, Jeff, does this have the potential to be a wild card race, just like one or two others might during the home stretch here?
Well, you know, the wild card is that it's an unknown now. You know, you had your teams that were good here before us, Edwards, Jimmy, You know, a few others that really did well here, Kyle, and now you don't really know who's gonna be fast until we get through this test, and who's gonna be the team to beat.
Yep.
So, and you don't know how it's gonna race. You don't know if track position is going to be extremely crucial or if it's going to be easy to pass. You know, so I think that it's the wild card because of the unknowns, because it's all new and everybody's trying to figure it out as we go.
But by Sunday race, do you think there's a chance you could have a second groove worked in, or is it just it's going to take a couple races? You think?
Well, I think throughout Sunday, throughout the race, we'll work a second groove for sure. Just because of double file restarts, just because of you know, as the tires wear, the cars, you're gonna lose a little bit of grip. So I think there's gonna be, you know, two grooves. It's just whether or not, you know, I think what's gonna make this track great as it evolves and matures is that I think there's the potential for a third lane, but that's not going to happen in the first race. And so, you know, I think that you're always going to have cars that are faster than others. So anytime one car gets inside or outside of another car, you're going to create a second lane. So there'll be two.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, guys.
Thank you.